All right, welcome back to episode 2 of the free course, How to Email College Baseball Coaches. So episode 2, agenda, creating the right email account. So this is where we do not ever want to use a school email address. Ever, guys, ever. For usernames, think about basically what is before the @ symbol of your Gmail account, and I definitely would suggest that you use Gmail. Basically, that's your username, right? A lot of times where I see a lot of high school baseball players go wrong is they treat this as a gamer tag. And if you're a parent wondering what a gamer tag is, it's basically, these kids, they're on their Xbox, their PlayStations, and they basically make something up for fun, and it's more of a joke than anything, right? We don't want it to be a gamer tag. We want it to be strategic and very simple to understand. We want to avoid numbers unless it's absolutely necessary. So in the graduation year is probably the best time to use that. So a couple of examples is like John Miller 2027. Pretty simple about John Miller. He's a 2027 grad. That's what these college coaches will assume. Evan Mendoza 2014. I'm going to probably create some stuff live alongside with you guys so you understand what this really looks like. But why does this matter, right? Coaches are quick to judge. So am I. When parents email a massive blob of text with no structure, with a kind of weird looking email address that I can't even tell what their first name is or last name, sometimes I just think it's complete spam, right? So I'm very quick to judge, and I know college baseball coaches are very quick to judge because they've kind of probably in some way, shape, or form, they've kind of walked through my shoes as far as maybe playing some pro ball, maybe playing some college ball. So they get it, right? And a sloppy email kind of makes me think that the kid's a little bit sloppy as well, right? How they're presenting themselves, how professional they look. It's just easy to associate those two things, right? So professionalism and that identity ultimately begins right here with this first contact, right? So we're also wanting to add in a clear, what I refer to as a PFP. It's a profile picture. This is where we don't want to get super crazy with editing or anything crazy like that. No filters, no shirtless pictures of you, with biceps up and trying to look all cool. This is where we want to just be a little bit more professional. A simple headshot. Basically, what you're looking at right now is a headshot, right? From basically your chest up, shows a little bit of the shoulders. The one thing I will say, it's okay to wear a hat. We're baseball players at the end of the day, as long as your face is lit up, right? So like if I'm like this and like you can't really see my eyes, you can't see, it's not probably the greatest PFP, right? But somewhere where you're looking directly at the camera, clean background, not too messy, this is definitely the way to go. And yeah, baseball headshots are preferred. If you want to use this like a school headshot, that's totally fine. At the end of the day, it's almost in a way your brand identity with these college baseball coaches. So there's another area that I think is so overlooked when it comes to the core principle of just emailing with a brand new account. We want to warm up the account. This is the step that nobody talks about. No, you're not going to get this information from these recruiting services out there. I'm not going to name any names. You're not going to get this from, the local recruiter that played a little bit of D3 baseball. You're not going to get this type of information because I've been doing this since 2019, have helped over 200 players, if not more, obviously, at the time that you're listening to this, with this whole college recruiting process. So we understand what works and what doesn't. So sending a couple of emails, maybe 4 or 5 emails to maybe a parent email or your own individual email, and making sure that we have somewhat of a ping pong conversation just to warm up that account. Ideally, we want to do this at least a week before sending out these emails because, again, Gmail has filters. So we want to, like I said, just reply back and forth. And the purpose is avoiding these spam filters. I don't know if anybody has created new email accounts, and basically they send an email to their friend for the very first time or whatever the case may be, and instantly it just hits into either the promotions or the spam folder. Now, if we're emailing college coaches, do we ever want to be in the spam folder? No, we don't ever want to be in the spam folder because, how are we going to get better deliverability, open rates, etc. if we're in the spam folder? So that's the purpose of warming up the account. So let's go through a quick little live example of creating a Gmail account live alongside with you guys, adding that profile picture and warming up that email. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I've opened up Gmail, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and create an account. Pretty simple. This is going to be for personal use. And for first name, I'm going to just go with Evan. Last name, I'm going to go Mendoza. I'm not hiding any type of information from Google. This is obviously Google. It's a trusted account. One thing that I will say, and this is what I do just because I'm like this, I don't put my real date of birth. And the reasoning behind this is because, and this is the same thing that I teach my students, is because when I get to the tracking software that we use in the outreach system and strategies to effectively and efficiently reach out to these college coaches, there is, for whatever reason, an age blocker. So I always like to just go January 1st, 1990. If you'd rather not say, that is totally fine as well. But this is where, again, we talked about username. And if we went back to it, what we're really trying to convey is a very simple approach as far as who we are, right? So if we just do like an evan.mendoza.2014, that might be available. So let's see. Okay, so it's already been taken. So this is where we can get a little bit more creative. So let's see without the dots if that is available. Evan Mendoza 2014, not available. Let's see just Evan Mendoza 14, no. Evan Mendoza dot 14, no. Evan dot Mendoza 14. All right, this is where it gets kind of fun because you kind of have to go back and forth to find a username. 2014. This is where you could also go, like for me, I was a right-handed pitcher and shortstop, so I could probably go like an INF. Oh, we found one, right? So I don't remember what I just did, but at the end of the day, we just basically went with like a position as like an optional additional layer. Of course, if you have a really unique last name, you're not going to deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and create a password right now. And you guys will basically go through this same process if you haven't already. If you already have a baseball account, that is great. Let's see, get a verification code. Let's see if, all right, so I do believe it went through. And this is where we can skip the recovery email. And this is my new email address, evanmendoza2014.inf for infield because I was an infielder. Ideally, you want to be a little bit more specific if you're like a shortstop. But this is just for testing purposes. Either way, let's go through the next couple of steps. Agree. You can confirm on that. And then it should take you to your Gmail inbox right once this loads up. There we go, Google Workspace. And yeah, cool. Awesome. So this is going to be your brand new email. So again, we've created the Gmail. Now we're going to go ahead and add a profile picture. So that's going to be up in the top right corner. We're just going to go ahead and click that. Add profile picture. And just for this example, just to make it simple, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. You know what? I'll go ahead and add. All right, so here we go. I just went ahead and uploaded a photo, and this is just like a very stock headshot that I use for a lot of my social media, so it might look familiar. And I'm gonna go ahead and click next, save as profile picture, and now we have saved that as a profile picture. So now it looks just nice and clean, and then also when you're sending out emails, it looks nice and clean to that other receiving end when we're reaching out to these college coaches. Again, this is just the small little details that no one's gonna ever really tell you as far as how to reach out to these college coaches. So that is the second step. The next step is going to be warming up this email account. So how do you warm up an email account? It's simple, guys. We're going to send an email to myself. For those that are curious, you can use this email address to ask me any questions whatsoever, Evan at Mendoza Baseball Academy. And this is where we just want to start a conversation back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and email right there. And then basically on my phone, what I'll do right now is once I get, and by the way, that very first email, it might take 5 to 10 minutes to receive on the other end. And I'm going to go ahead and just check all and see, this is exactly why we warm it up. It was in the spam folder, right? Do we want these emails to ever land in college coaches' spammed folder? If you just created a brand new account, in Google's mind, what just happened? You're a hacker, you're this, you're that, you're hitting and you're triggering so many of these spam filters. From Google's perspective, you're not a real person, right? So I'm in my spam folder, I'm gonna open it up, I'm gonna report not spam. Now I'm going back into my inbox, and now It looks nice and pretty. It has that profile picture. It looks beautiful. I'm going to reply back, hey, what's up? And send. And in a second here, what should happen is we'll get an email. And for the very first, I hope that nothing gets in any of these. See, like what even are these? Because again, we're not in this primary. And see, like this is a spam because again, it's a brand new account. It's not going to be in Google's mind. This isn't even like a real account. So we want to make sure that we click look safe. Maybe a quick little refresh might help. Okay, there we go. So for those that do know, like once you have that established back and forth, that's where it's ideal, right? What's going on? Again, we're just trying to basically tell Google this is a real account. This is a real normal Gmail account. This is a real person sending emails. And this is, again, called warming up the email, right? So once this loads up, we'll basically just send maybe one more back and forth. And then we will be set as far as warming up this email. Okay, so what's up? Not much you. Sending that one back. And again, see how good this looks with just your profile picture up there in the top. That's kind of what I'm seeing on my end on my phone. And once we refresh it, hopefully that new one comes through. Maybe not. All right, it took a minute, so yeah. Hey, not much. You? Nothing much. What about you? Right. So what we actually say in these doesn't matter whatsoever. So this is going to conclude this episode because now what we've done is we've created the Gmail account, we've added the profile picture, we've warmed it up in a very short manner, right? Ideally, what we want to do is warm it up for roughly a week before sending out these emails, and that's going to give us the best opportunity at the end of the day to get delivered in the inbox. Obviously, very, very valuable with what we are trying to accomplish. So I want to make sure that you guys keep watching because in episode 3, we're going to actually be installing the email template the right way.